Hey, what's going on, guys? You got Tone here, bringing you NPL Minors Season 3, Week number 7, going up against the Uzigunner and his team, the Bullet Punch Club. This is the final week of the NPL Minors before the playoffs start, and to be perfectly honest, it's not looking good for either me nor Uzi in this particular matchup, considering we are both heading into this matchup 2-4. And the playoffs are looking very, very unlikely for both of us. So instead of just trying to get all worked up over trying to do our best in this matchup, we just decided to go ahead, just bring a team and have fun with it. Because even if we do end up, if one of us ends up winning, the odds of one of us making the playoffs, even if one of us wins, are extremely unlikely. So with that being said, I decided to bring out some different sets, and we get to see the debut of Stoutland at least. Well, for a one-time show anyway. So most of my sets are pretty substandard that I'm bringing. I'm not really going to go over Uzigunner's team, considering this video is already late as it is. It was supposed to go up since Thursday, and we had some time zone differences. And we battled like the day after on Friday. This is being recorded on Saturday, the day after. So as you see, Uzi's going to bring his team of Electros, Donphan, Mega Venusaur, Victini, Salamence, and Heracross. And the team I'm bringing, pretty substandard. DD, Roost, Flare Blitz, Dragon Claw, Zardex. With Nasty Plot, 3 attacks, Fly MZ, Crobat with Nasty Plot, Air Slash, Heat Wave for the Bronzong, and Giga Drain for that Donphan. Choice Scarf Diggersby with Return, Knockoff, U-Turn, and Quick Attack. I didn't need Earthquake in this sense because the only Pokemon on this team that's weak to Earthquake is that Victini, so I figured it'd be useless. Let's bring EQ. Support Smooth Rock, T-Tar, Stealth Rock, Thunder Wave, Dark Pulse, and Ice Beam. Life Orb, Stoutland with Return, Facade, Crunch, and Psychic Fangs. And a Tail Glow 3 attacks, Manaphy, with the Rakan Berry with Tail Glow, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, and Psychic for the Mega Venusaur. So, like I said, this video is very late, so I'm not gonna try to slow things down or go into any in-depth here, because like I said, playoffs for both of us are very unlikely. So I'm just gonna go right into the match here. I'm gonna lead off with my Diggersby just because it had a solid matchup against everything on his team. If the opportunity presents itself, I get up a slow U-turn or whatnot on stuff like Electros or Victini. Barring Victini's not Scarf. The fact that he brought Heracross means that that's probably Scarfed as well, so it could be double Scarf. Donphan is only Stealth Rocker on that he brought, so I'm probably expecting that to be a little bit more defensive instead of offensive. Mega Venusaur could also be defensive. Salamence could be Dragon Dance, Flying MZ, or whatever Z move he can bring to weaken my team. So all that being said, I'm just going to start the battle here. I'm going to lead over my Diggersby, like I said, and he's going to end up leading off with his Electros. So he's going to fear a return here. He's going to go and U-turn. He's going to go out into his Donphan. I'm just going to click U-turn here as he reveals he is Rocky Helmet, physically defensive Donphan here. I'm going to go right into my Manaphy. This does force him out, so I'm going to go get a free Tail Glow off as it goes into its Electros. And now I'm going to fire off a Psychic here in case he switched to Venusaur. That was a good 50%. He does go for a T-Bow, but I am with Canberry, so eat that up very, very nicely. So now I'm going to switch out here because I can't take him out with the next Psychic here. I'm going to go hard into my T-Tar, as I believe he goes for a U-turn this turn, yes he does. So he's going to U-turn and go out into his excuse me, he's going to go back into his Donphan here. He doesn't know I have Ice Beam. I want to keep that in the bag, so I go hard back into Manaphy here. He's just going to get a Stealth Rock. That's totally fine. And rinse and repeat the process from the first time. I'm just going to go for the Tail Glow one more time as I go out into its Electros. And it's better for me this time around because the sand is up, and what the extra sandstorm damage does, it makes sure that he puts him in range of a +3 psychic, as I do take out the Electros this turn. So Electros is down, but it does give him a free switch in to go on to whatever he wants. He decides to go on to Ments here. I'm going to stay in and click Ice Beam, but he goes for the Outrage here. So probably determine that he is a Scarf Salamence here. As I go into... I want to go into Diggersby this turn, and the reason why I go Diggersby over Stoutland is because if I was Choice Banded Stoutland, but I'm not, if I was Banded Stoutland, I would have went hard into it and then gone for a Return, because Banded Return would take out the Salamence no problem. However, I am Life Orb, and Life Orb Return from Stoutland does 77 to 91%, so I can only take it out if it's a crit. And more importantly, Stoutland does do a good amount of work in this match, as with the stand up, it outspeeds everything on his team. If I can weaken the Donphan a little bit more, then Stoutland has a little bit more free range to just fire off returns and whatnot. So I go into my Diggersby here. I want to click Quick Attack, because what the damage for Quick Attack does, it puts it Salamence in range of Stoutland's return. I also have to hope for a 3-turn Outrage, so he's forced to stay in with his Ments. I know I'm giving him another Moxie boost, but at this point it's the only thing I really had to prevent me from getting destroyed by the Salamence. So with that being said, I'm going to go for the Quick Attack like I said. And it's going to do a good 37% damage, but that's all the damage I need to make sure that Salamence can take it out with a return, as Diggersby's going to drop to an Outrage here. And so he gets the Moxie boost, and he ends up getting a 3-turn Outrage. Now I can go out into my Salamence, my Stoutland this turn, and I'm just going to click Return and take out the Salamence. So that Salamence was a huge problem for my team, considering that I left my fairies at home, but that's a different story. It does allow him to go back into his Donphan here. With only 1 turn of sand left, there's no point in me staying in. So I'm going to go hard into my Charizard, because it wasn't really doing much for the most part with Salamence being gone. So he actually ends up going for Roar, and my Crobat comes out. So now here I want to reveal my Giga Drain here and do a good amount of damage, and that damage puts it in range of Stoutland's return, as well as he's just going to go for a knockoff. He can't knock off anything because I'm Flying MZ. He sees this and he goes to go hard Victini as I get up a Nasty Plot. Now from here, after I get my Nasty Plot boost up, I had to make a little bit of a prediction here, but I had 2 options. I could either stay in and risk his Victini being Scarf with Bolt Strike. I know he had Bolt Strike, but I didn't know if he was Scarf or Banded. Or I can just go out into my T-Tar, get the sand back up, and take the Bolt Strike no problem. So I made the safe play. I could have been a little bit aggressive, but the thing is, I needed Crobat for Mega Venusaur and Heracross. So I figured play it safe, go out into my T-Tar to take this Bolt Strike. Take the Bolt Strike, take the Stealth Rock damage. So he goes for Bolt Strike here, and that does 23%. Now, I didn't calc how much damage that this did, because I figured it was banded damage and he got a low roll, but he's now going to go out into his Donphan here. I'm just going to fire off a Dark Pulse. It doesn't take him out, but the next one will. So I could have tried to get up rocks with T-Tar, but I went against it. He does go out to his Heracross. So now from here, I'm going to sack off my Charizard, as it takes a Stealth Rock damage, and he does go for Close Combat. So the way he went for Close Combat reveals to me that this is most likely a Scarf Heracross. So he had Scarf Heracross, Scarf Ments. I didn't know if the Victini was Scarf or Banded or whatnot, but it does allow me to go out into my Crobat here. So I'm going to fire off a Air Slash, I believe. No, I went for the Fly MZ Supersonic Sky Strike. I probably should have went for Nasty Plot first, but what's done is done. Did a good amount, but I'm going to go for Air Slash here the following turn to try to get a flinch. I was essentially sacking this thing off, but unfortunately I missed the Air Slash, which sucks in the sense that I needed Crobat. I could have went hard T-Tar, but I wanted to keep the sand up for as long as possible. So, but I do go out into Stoutland and get my revenge kill with the Stoutland, but With my Crobat gone, it's a lot harder for me to take out the Mega Venusaur, much less the Scarf Heracross, as Heracross can just come in and just click Close Combat. But it goes Mega Venusaur here. I'm going to click Psychic Fangs just to show him I had it, and it did over half. So this is like more of a... This is looking like more of a specially defensive or a offensive Mega Venusaur with a tanky set. As Stoutland drops to the Sludge Bomb here, and T-Tar is unfortunately going to drop to the Giga Drain as I am relaxed nature. So we are going to end the season on a 2-game losing streak. We lose to Uzigunner and the Bullet Punch Club 2-0. And we finished the season of the NPL Minors, unfortunately, with a record of 2-5 with a differential of -10, which puts us second to last in the conference. So there will be no playoffs for us. And even if we did win, like I said, I need a lot of other implications to go my way, which unfortunately that did not happen. I don't know if the Air Slash would have mattered here because Crobat doesn't really do that much damage without a Nasty Plot boost. And it did reveal afterwards that the Victini was he was banned Victini, not Scarf. I didn't check the damage after the Bolt Strikes to confirm it. I might not banned it. He could have been Z Victini, but nonetheless, good game to Uzigunner. There was really nothing much to lose in this battle other than me losing like this game, but I felt as though my season could have been a lot better. I know that for a fact. I played a little bit underwhelmed. I played a little bit poorly during some of my matches, especially when I played Verd. I made some questionable plays, and then the 6-0 against Monotui where I got destroyed by Curse-Lax, and I didn't bring anything for that. But it's a learning curve as I'm trying to progress in the Draft League format. So that is going to be Season 3 of the NPL Minors. I will be back for Season 4 whenever that starts back up. So hopefully by then, my teams, I'll have a better idea of what I want. It was fun using a lot of these mons for the first time. Manaphy I already know how to use. Zardex was something I was trying to do for the first time, but I felt as though when I drafted Zardex, I didn't really plan the team as well as I could have around Zardex, even though I had T-Tar and all that stuff. And I drafted a very solid bulky offensive core, bulky offensive team. That probably does better in some people's hands, a lot better, but like I said, it's a learning curve for me at least. So nevertheless, if you guys did enjoy the battle, feel free to like, subscribe if you're new, and all that stuff. So that's going to be the end of the NPL Minors for me at least. I hope you guys can at least stay tuned and watch the rest of the NPL Minors playoffs and cheer on the 8 teams that did make it to the playoffs. So everybody's team links will be in the description down below, like always. So I'm going to end it there. Until the next time, guys, my name is Anthony, aka Tone, and I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side. Later!